Good morning to everyone. Welcome to Digital Learning, Department of Collegiate Education. Here, myself, P. Ranganayakalu, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Government First Grade College for Women, Tumkur. Today, let us have the discussion on the branches of law or the classification of law or the divisions of law. ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾ ಆರ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಲಾ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. There are the two main branches of law which includes number one private law and whereas the number two the public law. So basically main ಎರಡು ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಲಾ ನಲ್ಲಿ. ನಂಬರ್ ಒನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾ ಅಂತ, ನಂಬರ್ ಟು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾ ಅಂತ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮುಂದೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ ದ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾ? Private law, it consists of those rules of law that governs the relationship between private individuals. Andre, the private law is nothing but, and it consists of, the private law nalli, it is a set of rules and design, and also that governs, it controls or it regulates the relationship between private individuals. And in individuals, and here who are the private individuals? The private individuals in this case also includes the private organizations such as limited liability companies. So illi navu, so the rules of law that is called as private law rules that regulates or controls the relationship between the private individuals. ಸೊ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹೌ ದೇರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರೋದು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸು ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸು ಅಂಡ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆಸ್ ದ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಓನರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಶಿಪ್. ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಂತ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ fundamental or the basic difference between the private law and also the public law. So here if we take an example, that is the owner and the tenant relationship, and if the tenant is not paid any amount of rent to the owner of the building or the property, and the owner, he has the right as per the law to take the legal action against the tenant, and provided there should be the essential elements, there should be an agreement between the owner and the tenant, and as per according to an agreement between the owner and the tenant, the owner has a right to take the action against the tenant, and also the owner can recover the amount of rent from the tenant. So therefore in order to take that legal action, he has the ರೈಟ್. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಓನರ್ಗೆ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಓನರು ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಂಟನ್ನು ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ದ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓನರು ಮತ್ತು ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ ಇಬ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟು ಇಲ್ಲ. So therefore this is called as the private law. So let us come to know the what is called as a public law. So the public law is, it consists of those rules which regulates the relationship between the state and the individual. Here in the case of public law, there will be an involvement of the government. So here ಈ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಲಾ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಎ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇರ್ತಾವೋ ಆ ಕೇಸಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಮ್ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಾಗೆ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾವು ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವೋ ಸೇಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದ ಟೆನೆಂಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫೀಲ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವಿತ್ ದ property or with the owner of the property, and if there is an argument between the owner and the tenant, and during that argument, and if the tenant hits the owner with a bat or with a stick or any other, at the time if something is happened to the owner, and therefore here the case will be filed, and here there will be an involvement by the government, and the government will file the owner will file the case, and in this type of cases definitely there will be an involvement of the government, and he can file the case, and the legal action will be taken by the government as per the public law. So this type of cases will comes under the public law. So here what are the other laws of public? ಸೊ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾ ಏನು ಇದಾವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಅದರ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಲಾ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಲಾ, ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರಲ್ ಲಾ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಎಟ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ, ಅಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲಾ ವಿಚ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಒನ್ನು constitutional law. Public law includes number one, constitutional law. So what is called the constitutional law? The constitutional law is one which regulates in general terms all legal relationships concerned with the state and law, separation of powers, essential features of the state legislation. Constitutional law will also regulates the form of the public order and the administrative division of the territory, the status and role of the holder of the highest public authority, human rights, the primary elements of the public system, etc. So here the constitutional law which regulates, so therefore which controls the in general the terms of all relationship concerned with the state and the law. So therefore here the constitution, it consists of the rules and regulations which are applicable for all the peoples in the society, for the general public, and the powers and as well as the rules and regulations, and which are all consisted by the constitutional law. So the constitutional law is, it consists of the rules and regulations, and whatever the rules and regulations and the rights which are consisted by the constitutional law is applicable for all the general public, the society. And the constitutional law, it regulates the form of public order and the administrative division of the territory, and the states and the role of the holder of the highest public authority, human rights, and the primary elements of the public system. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ, ಮತ್ತು ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ the territories, and the states and the role of the holder of the highest public authority, and all these which will all be consisted in the constitutional law. So therefore the constitutional law is it is one of the public law, and this law is applicable for all the peoples in the society. And basically the constitutional law, it consists of the that is of human rights, and as well as the elements of public system, and as well as the role of, that is the status, and also the role of the holder of the highest public authority of a particular nation, and also the administrative division of the territories, and all these are consisted in the ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಲಾ. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಲಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಏನಿದೆಯೋ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಸೊ ದ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ and as well as whatever the constitutional law, it is consisted and which are all applicable for the general public. Next, let us come to the one more public law, that is called as administrative law. So what is called as an administrative law? The administrative law, it regulates the activity of public authorities. It controls the activity of public authorities. That is public authorities, the procedure of their formation, their powers, and also the relationships. So that is here the with the citizens liability for violating administrative law, and also the administrative matters are to be resolved pursuant to the administrative procedure in a administrative court. Complaints and protests concerning an order, directive, prescript, or the legislation issued under public law by an institution. So therefore here the administrative law is the law, it deals with, it controls with, it deals with the activities of public authorities, and it resolves the disputes between the administrative officials and also the public. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಲಾ ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್, ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಮತ್ತು ಜನರಲ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್. ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್, administrative authority and the public, and this law is applicable, and also the administrative law, it consists of the set of rules and regulations, and according to that rules and regulations, that rules are applicable in order to resolve the disputes between the administrative authority and also the general public. Therefore, in order to deal with the administrative matters, in order to control the administrative authorities, and also it regulate, and also in order to regulate the administrative authorities, the law is required. Therefore, here there is a particular law in order to deal with the administrative matters of the state, that is called as administrative law. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾವು ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಮತ್ತು ಏನಾದರೂ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಲಾ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ರೂಲ್ಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ that the disputes can be resolved so by the government. Therefore, in order to resolve that disputes between the administrative authority and as well as the public, the law is very much essential. Therefore, there is a law, that type of law is called as the administrative law. So therefore, let us see that what are the elements of administrative law. And here the basic elements of that administrative law, the content of this administrative law is that administrative law, it regulates, it deals the activity of public authorities, the procedure of their formation and how to form their that authorities, the administrative authorities, and that is called the procedure of their formation, that is called as the structure of the administrative authority, and their powers, and what are the powers that are given by the state for the administrative authorities as per the administrative law. Therefore, the administrative law, it consists of the public activities of the public authorities, the procedure of their formation and their powers, and also the relationship with the citizens, and how the public authorities have to maintain the relationship with the citizens of the society, and also the liability for violating administrative law. If any violation of administrative law by the administrative authorities, and what is the liability and which is imposed by the law. Therefore, the liability is also consisted in the administrative law. Therefore, the administrative law, it specifies the liability for the administrative authorities in the case of violation of the administrative law, etc. And also, the administrative matters are to be resolved pursuant to administrative procedure in administrative court. And whereas the administrative matters, and means if there is a disputes between the administrative authorities and as well as the public, and that will be resolved in the administrative, as per the administrative procedure in the administrative court. So therefore, there is a particular court. That court is called as an administrative court, whereas in that court only the administrative matters and the administrative disputes can be resolved. So ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ the disputes ಇದಾವೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸು ಮತ್ತು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಅಂಥದನ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ court. In that administrative court, that case will be filed, and whereas in that court, and we can get the justice. So that next, complaints and protests concerning an order, directive, prescriptive, or the legislative issued under public law by an institution. Therefore, how to file the complaints and protest concerning an order. ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಏದರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂದ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಹೌ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನಾಗಲಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ as how to issue an order, directive principles, and all these are contained in the administrative law. And also prescript or legislative issued under public law by an institution and official or another person performing public administrative functions in order to regulate an individual case are to be resolved in administrative court. So therefore, that if there is any dispute between the administrative authorities and as well as the public disputes, that can be resolved in the administrative court. Therefore, in order to resolve that cases in the administrative court only. And let us come to the one more that is called as the public law. That law is called as the procedural law. What is called as the procedural law? Procedural law, it determines the rules of court procedure. Procedural law ensures legal security and precludes arbitrary acts by court. So a significant violation of procedural rules may, for instance, result in the nullification of a court judgment. It includes criminal procedure law and as well as the civil procedure law. And let us come to what is called the procedural law. Andre ee procedural law, it determines the rules of court procedures, and it consists of this law, it consists of certain procedures which are to be followed in the court procedure, that which are to be followed for the filing of the case and also for the judgment, and also all this. There is a procedure, and this procedure is to be followed by both plaintiff and as well as the defendant in order to file a suit and in order to give the judgments and how to file the case. And there is certain procedures, the rules and regulations which are to be followed by both the parties. And therefore, what is the rules and regulations, what is the procedure to file a case, that court procedure which is involved in the procedural law, which is consisted by the procedural law. The procedural law ensures legal security and precludes arbitrary acts by court. So if you file a case according to the procedural law, if you are followed a particular procedure in order to file the case, and there will not be any, there will be a security for the parties, and it will not be nullify the case, and therefore the procedural law determines that is, and so there will be legal security. If you file a case according to the procedural law, there will be a security for both the parties, and a significant violation of procedural rules may, for instance, result in the nullification of a court judgment. And if you are not followed a particular procedure to file a case at the time, then there will be that a court declares that it is nullified, it is not valid of a judgment. Therefore, it includes the criminal procedure law and as well as the civil procedure law. And let us see that what is called as the criminal law, criminal procedure law. And the first, before we go to the criminal procedure law, let us have the meaning of the criminal law. So what is the criminal law? Criminal law is a body of laws that prohibit and punish acts that injure individual people, property, and the entire community. This is called as the meaning of criminal law. So here the criminal law is the body of law. That is, criminal law, it consists of the body of law, it consists of the set of rules, it consists of the set of laws, and it prohibits, as per the criminal law, it prohibits and also it punishes the acts. There are certain activities and which are to be prohibited by the criminal law, and also if anybody is involved in these criminal activities, there will be a punishment that injures individual peoples, and that criminal activities, because of that criminal activities, if somebody is followed that criminal activities, and because of that criminal activities, if somebody is involved in criminal activities, and because of that criminal activities, if somebody is suffers, and if somebody there is an injury for the individual peoples, either for the peoples or for the property or for the entire community, and we can file the case according to the criminal procedure code and criminal procedure law. Therefore, according to the criminal law, what we can able to understand here is that criminal law is nothing but it is a body of law, and it consists of, it is a what the law will says. The criminal law will says that it prohibits and punish the acts, and there are some activities and the criminal activities that are prohibited, and if that activities are practiced by any person or involved in any that type of activities, there will be a punishment for that person. And because of that activities, if somebody is injured, if there is something injury for the other peoples, and there will be, definitely there will be a punishment by the court according to the criminal procedure code. Therefore, this is a criminal law. This is also one of the public law. And let us see what is called as the criminal procedure law is related to the penal law. Criminal procedure law regulates the activities of investigation authorities, prosecuting authority, and the court in legislative proceedings in criminal matters. That is called as the criminal procedure law. And also it is related to the penal law. Indian Penal Code is applicable, and criminal procedure law regulates the activities of investigation authorities, and in case if any criminal activities, and for that activities, if there is a case relating to the criminal activities, if there is a case, and here there will be an involvement of the investigation authorities, and here the investigation authorities, the powers and as well as that their powers, and which are all mentioned in the criminal procedure law. What is the authority given by the criminal procedure code for the investigation authorities, and as well as for the prosecuting authorities, and the court in legislative procedures in criminal matters. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ರಿಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದಿ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ the branch of public law that is called as the civil law. So here what is called as a civil law? Let us come to the meaning of civil law. Civil law regulating non-criminal activities between and among individuals and corporations. So in the case of civil law, it is not applicable for the criminal activities. It is non-criminal. It is applicable for the civil cases. Example, the property disputes between brothers or any other parties, or for the public or any other parties, and as well as marriage disputes or any other that is of disputes between the private parties, and that are the example are the individuals and the corporations, and these are all the in order to solve these cases there is a civil law. The civil law, it consists of the set of rules and regulations, and by applying all these rules and regulations of the civil law, and the court will decide, the court will proceed the proceedings and give the judgment based on the rules which are consisted by the civil law for the civil disputes. This is called as the civil law. So ಈ civil law ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಾವುದು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೋ ಆ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೇಸನ್ನು ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, so how to proceed the case, how to give the judgment and what type of judgments, and these are all will be the civil law is a guide for all these. So therefore according to the civil law we can resolve the civil disputes. Next, one more public law, one more branch of the public law is civil procedural law, is related to the civil, that is called a civil procedural law. This is also one of the public law, and the civil procedure is related to the civil law and its sub branches. Civil law proceedings regulate the rules of resolving civil matters, the activity of court and the litigating parties that is necessary for protecting the rights of citizens. The civil procedure rules are the rules which are for the protecting the rights of citizens. Next, let us come to the international law. International law is the set of rules generally regarded and accepted in the what is called as the international law. The international law is also one of the branch of public law. What the international law is the set of rules generally regarded and accepted in relations between the nations. It serves as a framework for the practice of stable and organized international relations. And also the international law differs from state-based legal system in that it is primarily applicable to countries rather than to individual citizens. Therefore here the international law is a law, it is a set of rules generally regarded and accepted in relations between the nations. So the law, international law, it guides and also it consists of the rules and regulations, the principles, so for the maintaining of the relations between the nations, between the states, between the nations, from one nation with the another nation, and the how to maintain the relations between from one nation with the another nations. Therefore that type of law is called as the international law. ಈ international law ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ between from one nation with the another nation the relationship maintain ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು international law will be specified. Therefore international law is a set of rules generally regarded and accepted in relations between the nations. So here it serves as, and if you want to maintain the relations with the other nations, certain rules and regulations are to be required. Therefore that rules and regulations are specified in the international law. It serves as a framework for the practice of stable and the organized international relations. That is called, it is a framework. What is that framework? The international law is a framework. According to that framework only we will maintain the relations with the other countries or with the other nations. And the international law differs from state based legal system in that it is primarily applicable to countries rather than to individual citizens. International law is not it is totally different from the state based legal system, and in that it is primarily applicable to the countries rather than to individual citizens. ಇದು basically that is of the relationship between the countries apply ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, but it is not applicable for the any individual citizens of a particular state or the country. So therefore this is called as the international law. So these are the different the laws, the public laws, which are the public law, which includes all these. So this we are able to we have understand about the different various branches of law. Thank you.